Welcome! Today we are stitching the last orange flower on our whimsical flower hoop, and it is a satin stitch flower. So we're going to start with 3 strands of, what color is it? 351. That's the color. Yes, 351. All right. Now we're going to make all of our stitches look like they are coming into this center circle. So we're going to start with some foundation stitches that are going to be our guides. And I'm actually going to start right along this straight line that we're going to use later as my first stitch. So I came up on the outside and I'm going to go down right along the line for this center circle. Now I'm going to imagine that I'm making a straight line all the way across my flower here. So I'm going to come up right here at the center, checking that I'm still making a straight line. And I'm going to go down over here. And like I said, this is to help us make some guide stitches so that as we fill in our satin stitch, we know what to do and how to do it. Now I'm going to jump and I'm going to make the cross line for this shape. So I'm going to come up here on the edge, just kind of guessing with my eyes, come down in the middle, right on the circle, and then we repeat. Gonna go up other side of the little circle, down on the edge, and you can see we have 4 lines that cross here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in between each of these lines and make the line that would go on the diagonal. And again, we're just eyeballing. There's no real, oh, I got a knot. Now that we have some guide stitches and we can see that everything's pointing into the center, we're going to start using satin stitch to fill in these spaces. Now, satin stitch just means that we're going to nest all of our stitches close together so that we want it to look like it's just solid and full of stitches, full of thread. So I'm going to come up next to this last stitch I made, right on the line. And then I'm going to go down, not all the way in the center, but kind of right next to here, because I know that I need a line here that's going to go all the way to the center. So this thread doesn't need to go all the way to the center. It's going to sneak under or next to this previous line a little bit. And then I'm going to come up again on the outside, right on the line. Again, just a thread or needle length away. And then I'm going to think again. Okay, I need a line right in the center that goes right here. So this one maybe comes a little bit closer to the center, but not all the way there. That might be hard to see on screen, but it's not. And then I'm going to come up on the line. And I can see that these lines feel like they're straight like this. And if I continue like that, you can see over here, it would not be going into the center. So this line, I need to sneak under these stitches a little bit. And you just put the tip of your needle under those lines, pointing right towards the center, and pull down. All right. Now this line looks like it's going to be pretty close to that center line between these 2 guidelines, if you'll remember. What is that? There we go. So this one I'm going to take all the way into the center line. And now we're going to fill in this space. So I'm going to go up on the outside line, down next to or underneath some stitches, still pulling towards the center. Come up on the outside line, down in towards the center. Looks like I can fit maybe another straight stitch all the way here into the center, so I'm going to do that. And then I have space for at least one, maybe two more stitches right here. And one more here. Got a little gap on the side. This one I'm going to bring all the way down as close as I can get it, sliding my needle under so that end hides. And you can see we've got one section filled in, and I'm just going to keep following this same method all the way around, bringing all the ends into the center so it feels like our line goes around. All right, we're gonna stop here, almost done. As you can see, I got this tail end here that popped up on me, and I've been pulling from the back and I can't get it to go back to the back side. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take my trusty scissors here, and I'm gonna get as close as I can to the hoop without cutting anything else. Snip that end off right there and continue stitching to finish up here. Now, the most important thing you want to remember as you fill in your flower here is that the edge is going to be the part that you can still see when we're finished. So making sure the edge that you come up consistently on the line to make the edge nice and smooth is the most important part of this satin stitch, because we're going to be adding more to the middle here in just a second. So most mistakes in the middle you're not going to see, so it's not going to be a big deal. All right, there is all of our darker orange finished, 351, and I'm going to try and anchor without looking. I do not recommend that. There we go, I think I got it. And then I'm going to switch over to 402 to finish our flower. Now, we are going to make some stitches in the center that make our flower look like it's got light orange here, kind of some sparks of orange in the middle, and then we'll make these. These are called pistils, and there's two ways to make those. So let's start with our little accent orange lines first. We're gonna go up through our finished satin stitch here, and this is about halfway up this big section right here, and then I'm gonna go down trying to find true center because we want to cover everything that's left at this point. And then I'm going to make a shorter stitch over a little bit here, still coming up through our flower, and then I go down into the center. And now I want to make a longer stitch coming up through the flower and down into the center. And then I just keep repeating, making shorter stitches, longer stitches, varying their length, and filling in this center as I go around. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I've got an explosion of light orange in the middle. And now I'm going to come up, hopefully to the side of where I just went down in the middle here, and we're going to make our pistil stitches. So I'm going to show you how to do it the official way first, and then we'll show you how to do it the potentially easier way. So a pistil is basically a long stitch with a French knot on the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap my thread just like I would for a French knot, but instead of going back down into the center, I'm going to go down here at the end of the line. All right, you see? And then I'll just pull my thread down and through to make the pistil here at the end. Now, the other way to do this is to, again, come up at the center, is to make just a big straight line. And then we'll make another straight line because the end of our thread is right there, so we can't come up. Would be to make straight lines first, and then you come back at the tip of your thread, sorry, not thread, tip of the stem, the pistil, and then you make your French knot right there at the tip. And we'll repeat right here. Can't get the spot I want. There we go. And I'm making these be 2 wrap knots because this first one just feels teeny tiny. So I'm even going to come jump back over here and add a French knot right, hopefully over this, next to this, so that I have some visual consistency there. Then I'm going to anchor off and we are done with this flower.